Hi everybody, I am so pleased to be bringing you a very special guest to the show today. Jac Hughes is the person who influenced me back in the day when I watched his podcasts and YouTube videos. He's a natural, he's gifted, and he's got a fantastic background that I'm hoping he's going to share with us. So let's see who's behind Jac Hughes. Welcome, Jac Hughes, to Mandy Sonner Show.
No pressure. Thank you very much for having me. Just got out of the car, so I'm going to try and match your energy.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
The best I can. And I've made a commitment to myself not to shut down and to be as open and to be as open and as honest as I probably more than I have. So don't really do that much of this. I'm not used to being on this side of the conversation, to be honest. So
I was so like overwhelmed with joy when you just accepted. I asked, "Oh, could you come onto the show?" And you just went, "Yeah."
Yeah, I'm not going to deny that I probably would have thought about it a bit more, but the timings have matched up very well because I've got to be in the area tonight anyway. Yeah. But I think, all jokes aside, I would have made the effort to come down because you did it for me. So I think you've got to look after each other in that sense. So, yeah, it's been do you know what? It's been quite a nice drive. I've smashed through 5 podcasts that have been waiting for ages. It's a genuine pleasure to be, and the setup's great, isn't it?
It is a wonderful setup here. The guys here are great. It's a lovely studio. So, Jac, one of the things that I ask everybody is about their early career. Questions. From whatever time, but what moments really shaped your career, and who influenced you?
So I joined the Navy at 17. So that's probably a big first step. I suppose. And it's not an unusual story. Loads of people do it. It's not like that people do join the armed forces relatively young. But 17 is still quite young. And then I joined my first ship at 18 and then spent the next, up until until I was 25. So 7 years in the Royal Navy, doing different bits and bobs. Then fell into like junior project management, I suppose. Like a lot of people, whether they were in our community, whether they would admit it or not, found Scrum first, thought that made sense, then found, the rabbit hole of Agile. When I left the Navy, I joined like a consultant, they were a consultancy, but they did like an armed forces program, which was essentially, the deal was they give you some training.
Okay.
And then you do 2 years on site with one of their clients. And at the end of that 2 years, you could either go back on the bench with them and they'd farm you out somewhere else, or the place you were at would hopefully offer you a permanent job. So that probably could have happened, but the place where I was at weren't, Agile wasn't on their radar at the time. I've been back since, and it is now on their radar. But so I went out to be a Scrum Master. But to answer your question properly, I think just joining the Navy is probably the turning point for everything, really. And then leaving. Yeah. You need someone to give you a shot. The lady who gave me a shot was on the podcast yesterday, and it was quite a full circle moment to have her there and to say thanks. So she came to the event in October as well, but to say thanks to her face to face was quite a nice thing to do because she didn't have to.
No.
So, I don't know if that answers your question, but joining the Navy is probably the biggest turning point as a younger person.
Did you get any influence in the joining the Navy? Was it in family or was it?
No, not really. I think I've always been quite single-minded in that sense, and that probably comes across. We'll get on to other bits and bobs, but no one had been in the Navy in the family. My mum's partner's son was in the Navy when I was growing up, but I wasn't close to him to an extent. I knew he was up to some cool stuff and he was going to New York, but it didn't influence me because it wasn't really that. It wasn't part of part of my sort of life that much. Yeah. But even to get in the Navy, it was quite a journey because I'm not very, or I wasn't. I've probably only learned in my 20s. how to learn. So maths was never a strong point. Like, I've created a life, to be honest, where I just don't have to worry about maths because I've got a proper maths demon. So when you join the Navy, you have to do like a test. So I failed that the first time, passed it the second time. And originally I wanted to join the Marines. In hindsight, it was probably the worst thing. I'm glad I didn't, because I wouldn't have made it. I've got the self-awareness now to recognise I wouldn't have made it. But I was underweight in the medical.
Okay.
Because I was the same height as I am now, but like 2 stone lighter when I was 16, 17. Wow. Like built like a shoelace. Oh. So they're like, no, you failed the medical because your BMI is too low. I was fit and healthy, but even my BMI was too low. Fine. Okay, I'll draw it. So did that. Obviously put on a bit of weight. I thought, I'm probably not going to make the probably not going to make the Marines. I'll go back. I'll join the Navy. You're colourblind. Right. Okay. Oh, wow. So then I had to go for like an advanced colourblindness test to see if I could, if I could do any job in the Navy. Never mind the one that I wanted to do. Got through that. Okay. Oh, but you had asthma when you were little. Yeah, I did have asthma when I was little. Right, you need to go down and do a lung function test now.
Oh my goodness.
So I had to go to Portsmouth and got on a bike and they tested me out. Again, I was fit and healthy.
Yeah.
I was like running 400 metres at quite a fast pace. Past that. So even to get through the gates of basic training was quite, I had to keep going in that sense. Again, it's not like massive adversity, but to keep going at that young age, I think, shows a bit of grit.
There's still this kind of like, around us when we're trying to do something and there are signals or resistance and our perseverance comes out.
Yeah.
I think that, that perseverance is like grit. There's something there.
I think you've got to have it.
Yeah.
I think you've just got to have it. Yeah. Like, it's not everything's going to be easy. And if you want something, you just got to keep going.
Keep trying, yeah.
Ultimately.
Yeah, definitely. So you joined the Navy.
Yeah.
And you then, did you have a mentor there? Did you have any...
I mean, you do basic training, and I suppose you have someone who is leading you through that, but it's not really... No, not in the Navy, really.
No.
It wasn't really that... For me, it wasn't really... I would be being disingenuous if I said, oh, yeah, this person helped me massively. Because we all just helped each other.
Yeah.
You were put in a position where even if you didn't like someone, you had to work with them. And I think that's probably a lesson in itself.
I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there. When you say, like, if you don't like someone, talk to that. Like, what does that kind of...
Well, in that context, you've got to remember, so say you're on a ship, a Type 23 frigate of 180-ish people.
Yeah.
Now, I'm talking about 2008. So if anyone's watching this now, what I'm about to say probably it's 2025. You've got to... Yeah. I'm talking about the times we were in, right?
Yeah. In your context,
yeah. So the first ship I won was something called a stag ship.
Okay.
So it was all blokes.
Okay.
With maybe 1 or 2 female officers.
Right.
So there wasn't a mixed ship, really. So you've got to think about 178 blokes, maybe 2 females who are officers.
Yeah.
All from different backgrounds, all from different areas throughout the Commonwealth. Different races, right wing, left wing.
Yeah.
Centre people, working class, officers, middle class.
Yeah.
Scousers, Welsh people, people from Manchester, people from Scotland, like that. That is just a melting pot of people.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get along with everyone because that's just impossible. But, and it sounds dramatic, but it's a fact. When that fire alarm goes off and you're all part of a fire party.
Yeah.
Or you're doing an exercise, or you're off the coast of somewhere a little bit ropey, that doesn't really matter at that point because you've all got the same job to do.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by that. You're not going to always like people, are you? But it's...
it's so interesting.
Mine's a bit of an extreme, but it's not. It's the example it's the example I've got. It might be extreme.
Yeah, no. I mean, I kind of like... I've really had to dig deep into the liking people or not liking people. And I went as far as to doing more discovery work about our emotional self. Did coaching, but I went to one of Caitlin Walker's sessions, Clean Language.
I think she lives near me.
Yeah, went there during an agile camping.
No, yeah, Agile boot camp.
Coaching camp.
That's it.
Yeah, something like that. And I met her there, and I'd followed her for a while, read her book, and we were in this practical session. And she said, right, okay, so what have you got? Who's going to bring something to the table so that we could, follow her practice? I said, evil. And everybody looked at me. And I said, what, can you do clean language with evil? I wanted to just kind of understand it more because we know there are evil people in the world. But I wanted to understand it more from my own perspective of bias. And it's always different. Everybody has a different perspective. But by the end of the clean language session, what I'd kind of deduced was there are evil acts. And I personally believe that people are capable of doing evil acts, but that doesn't mean to say that they are always all the time evil. But I think for me it's easier to look at it like that and then let it go. Because for me to like somebody or not like somebody, it can be, as a coach you have to be impartial. You have to have an impartiality. I mean, just the other day, I caught my mum off guard kind of thing. She was recovering from a cold and she was just so, oh my gosh, she was quite, quite horrible. I love my mum, but I think it's interesting, this
Can you always be impartial though? I feel that's a bit of an impossible task because we've all got bias.
I think the only way that I've discovered to be impartial is to use more of the mum persona in me.
Right.
When like raising my kids, I love them all. I've got 3 kids, I love them, and my mum's often said, we need the people around us. She always gives me an example of, she says, we've got a thumb and finger, we've got 5 fingers on our hand. Each one of them has its own capability. We can't say, I don't like my little finger. We have to have this impartiality of the knowledge that everything brings something of quality. It could be bad quality or good quality, but that's the impartiality. That's the kind of coaching model in my mind that I try to use, which is everybody has capability and genius. They've been given a human birth.
Yeah, but they can still be a knob.
Oh God, yeah, totally.
You can love someone but not like them at the same time.
Yeah, totally. And you may not like them in that moment as well. You may think, what, I'm not liking this right now, and that's okay, because actually you should be like that. You should be able to discern what you like and what you don't like, because otherwise you wouldn't be human.
Yeah.
So talking about liking and not like, so what made you leave?
It's a good question. I think I had a very good time. So I was on a ship called HMS Protector, which is the Antarctic patrol ship, which goes to the Antarctic, which is a once in a lifetime thing. And I was probably due to go back on a proper grey warship, so 40-person messes, doing the same sort of trips that I'd done before. And there was a couple of options. I could have gone to like a training facility and worked on the parade ground. Didn't want to do that. I could have stayed in a training facility and gone to like teach trainees how to use weapons for the first time. I didn't fancy that. I don't really think I've worked out why I left, but there was just something niggling at me that I was young enough to start again. And although I believe it was the best platform for me, as someone, from a small town in North Wales, as cliche as that sounds, cliches are cliches because they're normally true.
Yeah.
It was the best springboard for me.
Yeah.
I didn't want to become the bitter person in the Navy that I'd seen in other people who hated it and resented it I'd had a really good time, and I would prefer to leave on a high, on my own terms, than be, I have to stay because I'm tied into a pension.
Yeah.
Or I've only got 2 years to do until I get my full sort of payout or pension. It was more of a gut feeling to do it. It was a hell of a risk. Like, everyone thought I was a bit mad doing it because I was on good money, I had good prospects. I wasn't outwardly unhappy.
Yeah.
So I think it was a bit of a shock for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But there's probably a few people who never thought I'd make it in the Navy either. So
yeah,
I've never had any, everything I've done.
Yeah.
I've got the receipts to back it up to
Yeah.
prove that I've done it. So
you got that evidence.
Yeah.
And, yeah. And it's interesting, isn't it, that you were like not really, there was nothing particular that made you leave except for like you were kind of, you had this maybe mental model of, oh, I don't want to be bitter.
Yeah. I could see into the future.
Yeah.
And what it looked like.
Yeah, and that's interesting, that vision that you had. I had a lady on the show who mentioned that she doesn't do goals anymore. She used to do goals, and it's all about vision now.
I can't be I can't be doing with all that. Start with why.
Yeah.
Having little goals. I just think it's just all.
Yeah. It's
personally, again, if you believe in that, then go for it. Make you do you, but goals, visions.
Yeah.
I think it sometimes sets one up for insecurity and failure, because we've all got lots of little whys, lots of little goals. Some people, the goal is just to get out of bed.
Oh my gosh,
that's an achievement.
Yeah, totally. I think it's that inner desire is something that's very personal.
Yeah. I think people have read Start With Why sometimes, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
All credit to them if it works. If anything helps, it's helpful. But it's just a bit too. I think sometimes people think a bit too deeply about that sort of stuff.
So your lived experience thus far resonates because you have done, and you will continue to influence other people. So you took that big leap.
Yeah.
Whether it was when you joined the Navy or whether it was when you left.
Yeah.
And you've stuck at it. You've stuck at what you're doing. So for those people who actually don't know what do you do currently?
So I run a business called EverydayAgile, which just started out with me as a contractor. Typed in that name to Company's House. No one had it, and there was no more thought of that. It started out as Everyday Scrum, but then I thought, oh no, that's very EverydayAgile is niche. Everyday Scrum is probably too niche, and thankfully that gut feeling again was right, because EverydayAgile's niche, but not as niche as Everyday Scrum. So I changed it to that, and that was just me contracting on my own. And then I've abused LinkedIn enough over the years to start getting leads and clients from elsewhere, and then it's scaled beyond that to what I would describe as a challenger or an underdog consultancy, trying to be a bit different to the bigger players out there. It seems to have been doing all right, so I'm still here. So I started it in 2018, again just on my own. Was very fortunate to get a first contracting gig. It's somewhere in Swindon, which we'll come back to, I'm sure. But since then it's just gone a bit mad, really.
So for me, the simple thing of getting a name for your company is a big decision. I think these are, for me personally, big decisions because they last. And so what would you say, what kind of a recent big decision have you made?
To say yes a bit more. I'm very good at saying no. I'm very good at creating boundaries. So this year I said yes to a few more things, like going to events that I would normally, and it's not like the events problem, it's more of I am a bit shy. I'm a bit like, I'm not the best at starting a conversation. Although I do, I'm normally in that seat, but that's structured. It's you're there at a time.
Oh yeah.
You interact with the person. You warm up to the person via message or email.
Yeah.
And then it's not like, sometimes it is, but it's not. You're not ripping the plaster off and straight in that awkward.
Yeah.
So, and then organising that the event that we did in October with the other two, Matt Spruce and Matt Evans, and Naomi. Shouldn't forget her. Yeah. So that's probably the biggest decision this year, just to get involved a bit more, really, not hide behind, the computer or the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been great. I've been to like 2 or 3 things, but that's more. And we organised that one, which was a big deal for us. But it's more than I've done before.
Yeah.
No massive. It's not life changing. No massive. There's been no massive decisions, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's probably not as. I can only tell you what I can, really.
Yeah.
There's been no life-changing, huge decisions.
See, for me, I think you've already made loads already. Joining the Navy, leaving, doing what you're doing. I think they're quite big.
I think I did scan the questions, but I wanted them to be more authentically answered.
Yeah.
But I think when I left the Navy, the truth is, and you bought your tin opener today, so I'm going to open up a bit. The truth is, the aim was to earn £52,000 a year.
Okay.
And I just picked that number.
Yeah.
Because I thought £1,000 a week. Obviously, it doesn't work out to that.
No.
But it just
in your mind,
in a binary sort of mindset, I thought, if I can leave the Navy and prove to people that I can get a stable job and I can earn £52,000 a year, I'm done.
Yeah.
I've made it.
Yeah.
And £52,000 a year is a lot of money.
Oh.
I'm not down. But that was just my goal at the time.
Yeah.
Because in the Navy, I was probably on about £40,000 a year because you get sea pay. So every day you're at sea, you get like a little bonus, and I was at sea all the time.
Right.
So to your point about making loads of decisions, I think it's easy when you haven't got that much to lose. Because at that point, when I started the business, thankfully, I'd done it.
Yeah.
Well, just about. I was a bit under it, but I'd completed it. There was no, that is I've achieved what I wanted to do. So everything else is a bonus. So all of these other decisions, they're just we'll just give it a go because I've met the baseline now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've got nothing to lose, really.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Yeah, no, fair dude.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah, it does, and I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head, which is it's your baseline.
Yeah.
It's your perspective. We can't really sort of compare people, you know what I mean? It's your own baseline.
Yeah.
My baseline is totally different to yours, and
which is that was just the target that I'm a contradiction now, because that was a goal and a target.
But it doesn't matter, does it? It's but
at the time, that was the target to, like for the lifestyle. Yeah.
You have to aim for something in life. Like you said, even if somebody's just aims to get out of bed. I think it's Mel, I've forgotten her surname, but she's
Robbins.
Mel Robbins.
I was listening to her on the way down.
She's brilliant. She's such a... I love the stuff she speaks about, and remember once just hooking into one of her little models was 5 second rule.
Oh yeah. She wrote a book about that, didn't she?
Yeah. So you just if you're in bed and you're gonna get up, just count to 5 and then you got to do it. And I thought, it's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah.
It's a good number, 5. Right, so let's do a 60-second, because I do this with everybody, and it's let's see how you get on with this.
Yeah.
So, if you had to change your job title to match your personality, Jack, what would it be?
I can't put it out.
You're not Chief of Chaos, clearly.
No. Chief Play the Card You Dealt Officer.
Ooh. Chief of what? Maybe reality or?
No, I think so. Well, this is 60 seconds, isn't it? So I can go back to it if you want.
Yeah.
But you've just got to play the cards you're dealt.
Yeah.
And you can't worry about what's outside of that.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain things that there's far better agile practitioners out there than me.
Yeah.
Like hands down.
Yeah.
Like there just is.
But there's only one Jac though.
Well, yeah, thank you. But the point is that you got to play the cards you dealt. Like I was born a white male.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a privilege.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I wasn't born with was the education and the network.
Yeah.
So the cards that I've dealt with, well, I'll talk about things that other people aren't willing to and make a joke out of it.
Yeah.
So that's the cards that they're the cards I've been dealt, and I'll use them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if that makes sense.
It does make sense, because you're kind of like saying, well, for me, you've got really great awareness. And the other thing that I love with, I always say AA, awareness and acceptance.
I thought you were going to say Alcoholics Anonymous.
No, but it comes from AA in that way, or AA, the rescue service. Can't rescue. But AA from a point of view of the self, you've got this awareness, but also the acceptance kind of goes hand in hand when a lot of people talk about gratitude.
Yeah.
Certainly elders, or, in my kind of circle that I talk to a lot, gratitude comes up a lot. Kind of puts you in that space of, like you said, the cards you're dealt with. Yeah, nice, lovely, I like it.
Yeah, we've gone over 60 seconds already, haven't we? But, sorry,
but that's okay. We're going to do another one, and let's see. Come on, let's try and see. And if you struggle, I will give you some. I'll let you know what.
Okay.
I do. Right, what are you terrible at but secretly enjoy?
There's a load of jokes there. But, make of that what you will, listener, watcher. Terrible at but secretly enjoy. I wouldn't really do it.
So I secretly enjoy doing sprints, like running, sprints. But I'm terrible at them.
Terrible, but enjoy.
Yeah. So secretly, I'll come.
Because I just like I would say I like DIY.
DIY.
But I don't enjoy it either. Like if you're the type of person who gets loads of satisfaction out of DIY, I genuinely tip my hat to you. When people go, I hated it at the time, but the satisfaction I got from putting, I hate it. I will call the man or woman to come and do it for me.
Fair enough.
Terrible, but enjoy.
What about yoga or stretching?
Oh, yeah, stretching. Yeah, I'm terrible at stretching. I don't do it.
And afterwards, you feel a sense of gratitude.
I'll let you know when I stop doing it. No, but yeah, that warming up and warming down. Yeah. Because I think it's just time. It feels like it's delayed gratification, isn't it?
Yeah.
The 40-year-old version of me is going to thank the 35 version of me.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, you saved me there. Yeah. Stretching.
Stretching. Let's go with this one, okay? So if you could change a perception in your industry, what would it be?
Of me or the industry?
Maybe industry more. I think you're already sort of doing it anyway.
It's just a chasing money thing.
Okay.
Especially from a consultancy point of view. I think there's a lot of, I'm not going to say bad, but there's a lot of different approaches out there. But I think sometimes consultancies all get tarred with the same brush, which is fine. Again, there's probably some truth to that. But especially the smaller ones, we do just want to, not just talking about mine, I'm talking about loads of others. We do just want to try and help deliver stuff. And it's never personal. It's never coming in to try and get rid of people or to try and change a process. It is a genuine want to help. Yeah. But if you've been burnt, then I can see why. It's you don't want to get burnt again, do you?
Yeah, no, definitely not. Although we learn the most through failure.
Yeah, but I suppose if I'm the client and you're the consultancy, I'm not paying for you to fail.
No, definitely not.
I'm paying for you to come and help me out. But you can't guarantee it either.
Yeah.
You know, I can't guarantee EverydayAgile or any other consultancy is going to go in and be 100% a success. But that takes trust and communication to go, do you know what? We need to know your tolerance levels for trying stuff out as well. Because if your tolerance level's here, we're probably only going to achieve that much. If your tolerance level here, we're probably going to achieve a bit more. So, yeah, I think the perception of some consultancies is a shame, but you know, is what it is.
I like.
Got to play the cards you're dealt, haven't you?
Yeah, play the cards you're dealt with.
I mean, all the bad ones are doing me a massive favour, to be fair. So continue to be shit if you are shit.
Yeah, no, fair do. So, yeah, I think the perception that I've noticed that you're changing is exactly that with the consultancy. You know, with the, you know, giving the smaller man, like in the sense of the businesses.
Or person, Mandy. Or person.
Smaller as in, business.
I'm only messing.
Yeah. It's like when you have any kind of a local business or you've got the big, you know, warehouses helping the local businesses. It does count for a lot, I think.
Yeah. I don't always get it right either. I've probably made more mistakes than successes, but again, it's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
As they say, as the youth say, it is what it is.
And my daughter says YOLO. You only live once. Oh God, no, please.
I don't think I'd be like back in the house if I said that.
But she stopped saying that now, so I'll take that back. What would be your top advice for someone who's just starting out in the industry you're in now?
I think a mistake I made, and I know this pretty much for a fact, there's probably a group of people between 2018 and 2020 who think I'm a bit of a knob.
You are?
Yeah, me. And I probably was at that time.
Okay.
So, and I get this answers the question to a certain extent. When I started contracting, I was 27, 28, which is young.
Yeah.
I did have a bit of a chip on my shoulder because I felt I had a point to prove. And this was in the with the first gig that I had as a contractor in Swindon, within a group of Agile coaches. Now the teams I was working with probably didn't have a problem with me. They thought I was energetic, you know, had good things to say, help them out. But in that Agile community, I think I was perceived as maybe aggressive, to be honest, is the truth there. Maybe with a bit of a chip on my shoulder, which was true. Yeah. Because the intent was I wanted to kick the doors down. If I'm being honest, I didn't like all the coachy stuff. Yeah. Because I was like, and again, I don't know if it's a background thing or I don't know what it is, but I was of the opinion, and still to a certain extent I am, of, guys, you're on £600 a day. Like, we're here to do a job. Yeah. I haven't got time for a coaching clinic or a coaching triad. Let's go and help the teams, not each other. Yeah. Let's go and do some stuff instead of about ourselves. Sorry, I'm swearing, but messing about ourselves. And looking back now, I can see how that, you know, I was I was disinvited from certain meetings because I was told I would bring the energy down. Yeah. But in my mind, I was trying to bring the energy up to actually get stuff done. Yeah. So I think if you're going into a place now, you just slow it down a minute, like zoom out a bit and go, your intent may be good, but how is it coming across? Yeah. Because, you know, that perception does stick, I think. And I was 28 now. I'm 35. If I haven't changed by now, then there'd be a problem. Definitely. And I do look back at them and go, you probably were a bit too, I would say, aggressive. Yeah. In my, not like physically, but my attitude was like, come on.
So what are your thoughts about, so let's take this idea to a football pitch.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your thought about strategy Because you went in and you had this kind of, without realizing it, your strategy was knock the door down, just, kind of like take over kind of thing.
Yeah, so
what's your...
Not in that sense.
Yeah.
Not with the teams.
No.
I was very approachable and pragmatic and, coached them, mentored them. It was just with a group of... something triggered me in a group of Agile coaches and we were just talking and talking and talking and talking. And there was probably... looking back now, there's probably good use for that. But at the time, I was like... I didn't understand the importance of it. So strategy with the teams was how I would go about it now, and observe, coach, mentor. But with a group of Agile practitioners in what you would describe as a centre of excellence, I was like, this is just a talking shop.
To be honest with you, you've kind of like reminded me of, the Emperor's New Clothes kind of thing. You've gone in, you're early in your kind of Agile coaching journey yourself, and you kind of like are calling it out to a certain degree, but maybe not knowing a best way to call it out, possibly. I mean, I've been in meetings with similar kind of situations where, I've been asked something, or they've said, what do you think? And do you have anything to say? I'm like, well, there's nothing to say because you're always talking, all of you. You don't really pause and let somebody else in.
And I think I fell into the trap of voicing other people's opinion. And you're the person who's voicing, what they're thinking because they've told you whilst you're having a cup of tea. But you're the one who steps forward and they all go into the background, although they've been saying it, in the background, and then you're the bad person then. Yeah. But it's youth, isn't it? Like I was very, very young in that sense, in that environment, in that world.
Yeah. Yeah. So taking it easy a bit is what you're saying.
Yeah, and you have, don't lose I've still got that edge now. I think I'm still who I am. But with hindsight, I can see why. People in that group will probably have that perception of me forever. And that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to them.
Yeah, I just let go of that.
Yeah, I mean, if people are, of one-minded view, then, that's their narrow-minded vision.
No, but I think it's what I don't know if I would even call it, because I've still got opinions of people from 15 years ago. And they've probably changed.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it is, isn't it? Yeah. But the question about strategy, I don't know if... Yeah, what can you ask it again?
Well, it was just because, can you, what are your thoughts around strategy, and how does strategy work in?
Yeah, I think you've got to have patterns of play. I would say.
Yeah, like that.
Rather than, what do they call it? Best practice.
Oh,
I think there's patterns of play.
Yeah.
To your football analogy, 4-4-2, which is like Billy Basics, will work sometimes, and playing out from the back like everyone does, like Pep Guardiola has, changed the game in that sense. But sometimes if you're like, again, I'm using our analogies are all over the place, but if you're bottom of the league and you're trying to play like Man City, you'll probably be better off going 4-4-2 and putting a big striker up front and lumping it in. Like, you've got to change to the situation you're in.
Like that.
So I think there's different patterns of play rather than one strategy.
So becoming more aware of that is definitely in your advantage. If you're going in as a new consultant or a new Scrum Master or something,
do your homework, I'd say. Like, if you're going in to a 100-year-old financial services organisation, they are not a Nordic streaming service. So don't treat them like they are.
Yeah.
They are a big old clunky regulated place.
Yeah.
Take the ideas.
Yeah.
I like this idea of swimmer's body illusion. I don't know if you've heard of that. So I, as a 6'2", built like a shoelace type of guy, I could follow an Olympic swimmer's training program to the T. Right? I could follow it for 2 years and I'm still not going to look like them. I'm not going to be as fast as them because our DNA, our genetics are different. I can't just copy and paste their training and expect to reap the rewards. So in organisations, I feel like it's the same sometimes. You can't copy what's been done over here and paste it. You can take inspiration from it, but it's not going to work if you just try and copy someone else's ideas all the time.
I like that very much. It lends itself to that kind of whole skeletal structure of the human body.
Yeah, and then within the organisation as well, they're all different, aren't they?
Really like that a lot. Very good. Love it. So, Jac, how do you define success for yourself?
That's a good question. That I can provide for those around me.
Yeah. No.
And that doesn't mean grand gestures.
No.
That doesn't mean, over the top things. If I can help the people around me who have supported me and have had blind faith in what I'm trying to do, then that's all right. And like I said, I've got, and I don't mean to sound like a privileged wanker when I say this.
It's so funny, Jac.
Because when I say I would go back to a permanent job or deliver Amazon packages or go back and do whatever I did before, I don't mean that in a disingenuous or privileged way. But the reality is I have a very nice life now. But if it all disappeared tomorrow, I have. And do you know what? I've watched my dad. My dad was a taxi driver, and my mum worked loads of different jobs when I was growing up.
Yeah.
She got a new job when I joined the Navy, and is still in that job, like a warden of retirement flat. So I've seen them work really hard. So not going back. See, even now it sounds like.
Well, it's just it's just the way that we talk, though.
Yeah, but I know. Yeah, I would just go. So yeah, being successful is just being able to provide and treat. Go. Oh, do you want to go to that hotel, Dad? Yeah. Well, I've just booked you a night there. Like doing stuff like that. Yeah. I think that's
lovely.
Successful, really.
Like making contribution.
Yeah. Like not grand gestures. No. Just going. We can pay for that.
Yeah.
It's normally a business expense. But, normally goes on the business card. But just doing little things like that. I think that's enough.
That's really good.
Yeah. And just realising that if it all disappeared tomorrow, just go and do something else.
That's a really level-headed kind of response, and
but it comes across like you're being falsely modest, isn't it? But it's not. It's just. I think if you come from more of a working class background, I think you're more comfortable.
Definitely.
I think you go through a period of having a scarcity mindset. Yeah. Of it's all going to disappear.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I need to post 3 times a day on LinkedIn, which is true. Yeah. But then you get to a point where you go, if it all disappeared, I say all disappeared, I'm not like Alan Sugar, but you just go, well, I'll go and do something else, and that's fine.
Yeah, definitely.
Just rejoin the Navy if I had to.
Yeah.
I'm too old now, but you know what I mean. I'd go back and do something else.
You've got years of experience.
Just going.
Yeah.
Again, I don't mean just going like it's so easy, but find something else to do.
Yeah. You've got a good open mindset, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to, haven't you? You've got to, again, play the cards you dealt.
Yeah, I love that. I want to get a T-shirt with that on it.
Yeah. Well, and trademark it.
Yeah. So I think I've asked you this question, but what would you, if you had a billboard for professionals, what would you have on it?
Play the cards you dealt. I was thinking about it on the drive.
That's so perfect.
I was thinking about, that's probably the hardest question that you sent through. And that's the one I was worried about the most. But through this conversation, I think that's what I would stick with.
Yeah, no, I love that.
I was going to say zoom out and just zoom out.
Oh, I like
just
it.
Because everything's probably all right.
Yeah.
You know, when people are kicking off on social media, like, I know it's controversial, but I quite like living in Britain. You know, all these knobheads go into Dubai and playing paddle.
Oh,
I quite like Britain. We've got good. It's Christmas. We've got good Marks and Spencer sandwiches, who now do gluten-free turkey feasts. Like, zoom out a bit and go. Definitely, it's actually not that bad.
I think it's from my own personal kind of perspective and opinion. I think a lot of it is media based. Yeah. fear, putting this kind of entity out there, and it's not the best of qualities to put out there.
It's just easier to be negative than positive.
Oh gosh, totally.
And I think I've learned that through the content as well that I've put out there.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to be negative and more negative than positive, but the positive stuff is better.
Yeah. Well, people have heard it here first about your positive attitude.
It doesn't come across. It doesn't look like it. I am positive. I'm a pragmatic optimist, I think.
Yeah. You've got a real calmness about you, Jac, and that's what really kind of influenced me in following you. So for me, it was like a treasure and a pleasure having you on the show today.
Been great. Thank you for having me.
So,
what's next for you?
Oh, what's next for me?
Turn the tables.
Oh.
What's the vision for this?
I would love to be able to glean everything that I'm learning from my guests and maybe convert it into some kind of some kind of material that other people can have. That's the kind of, it's like my journey in podcasting, in a show, being a host, and just share my own kind of learnings, because we learn every single moment of our lives. We're learning, and sometimes that can be a hindrance because we're not able to empty the vessel so that we can learn more. So for me, doing this is wonderful because I've got something structured that I can just put away and then pick up.
It's a nice artifact, isn't it, to look back on?
Yeah, definitely.
And point people in the direction of it. Is there a business motivation, or I'm going a bit deep now?
I think it is in a way. I've always wanted to do something for other people and give back. People have given me a chance, and I'd like to do the same, to give people a chance. So I'm welcoming, anybody who's got something to talk about related to work, worth, and well-being on the show. So we'll see how it goes from there. Yeah. And I had, I've had a lot of really good people come forward and, come to the show. So like yourself as well, to support me, and I'm really grateful.
I think we've got to look after each other, haven't we? Because it's a crowded world.
Yeah.
I think there's room. There's room for all of us, isn't there? Doing different things.
And I love the evolution of like partnering. I think partnering is I think it's going to become even more valuable in the future.
I think as long as people can put their ego aside.
Oh gosh,
I think, especially when winning. You can cut this bit out if you want, but especially when winning work in our.
Yeah.
I know this is different to your Agile stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's enough work out there for everyone, regardless of what people post all of the time about IR35, which is crap. We all hate it. But there is still work out there.
Definitely.
If we all come together a bit more and realise, do you know what? Sometimes someone is going to have to be the A name. And I've been the B name, and I've been the A name on a statement of work.
Yeah.
But that, to get us through the door, that's okay.
Yeah.
As long as we have that trust and communication.
Yeah, and I think that counts for a lot. Yeah, the trust is a big one.
Yeah.
Having the, I kind of look at it like we've got a boundary, and the boundary is behaviours.
Yeah.
And the trust is that we are, continuously evaluating them, reviewing them, our own, others, and then in the middle you've got that value that it just keeps growing as long as the behaviours enable that trust. It's a big one, and we can look at our lives like in our personal lives, and then we can assess ourselves, and if we've got people who are honest in our personal lives, I think that then also feeds into our professional world. Like I had a conversation with my son a few weeks ago. I was really hyper.
You?
Yeah.
Not having that. Can't say it.
I was so hyper because I'd had my tooth extracted, and it was really painful. But then I'd got over the worst part of it, and I'd got back into the gym, and I'd had like this wonderful coaching session, and I was so hyper, and I was speaking to my son on the phone, and he said to me right at the beginning, he said, "Oh, I'm really tired, Mum," and I completely ignored that, you know. And then towards the end, like, you know, of the conversation, he was just upfront and honest with me. He said, "Mum, I'm ever so sorry, but I can't match your energy. I'm gonna have to talk to you another time." I said, "Oh God, son, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I ignored you." And he's like, no, it's fine. But this is it, this kind of honesty and behaviour, value-driven, you know.
It's very mature of him to call that out, though. I don't know.
It's the trust thing. I think I say this a lot, that say anything to me, because the more you can open that door or just say anything, I won't take offence. I'll listen to you. You know, don't think it, you know, because you have to be able to build the relationships, and because life's not perfect.
No.
You know, so and people use other people in terms of personas, in terms of embodiment. Quite often I'll use my youngest daughter's embodiment persona when I'm trying to get that energy of clearing the kitchen, putting everything away.
Oh yeah, I've got a saying in my house: what would Naomi do?
Yeah, there you go.
When I'm thinking, right, I need to do something, okay, what would Naomi do? That's probably the right answer.
That is the right answer. Well, let's end on that, Jack.
Yeah.
And
maybe that should be the slogan.
Yeah, what would Naomi do?
Yeah.
I love that. There's so many ideas. Jack, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on, and thank you for the wonderful setup.
Yeah, no worries at all. And thank you everybody for joining the show. I hope you've enjoyed the episode as much as I have. It's absolutely been an honour for me that Jack's been on the show. I look forward to the next one. Thank you very much.